I'm good. How are you?
Good. I love your cute background. I was trying to find the best lighting, and the best lighting just so happens to be where the background is terrible. So I'm like, do I do my cute background with bad lighting, or do I do good lighting and a horrible background? And you found the best of both worlds. So props to you.
Luckily, my window, and then I have a little makeup mirror with like lights, so I'm just using everything I can.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Well, thank you for wanting to talk to me. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. In California. You're in California as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit hot right now, but I feel like this heat wave is almost over. Hopefully, maybe, I'm not sure.
No, I'm so ready for fall for it to start getting like windy and cold.
Yeah, I'm like, I love the sun and like 75 degrees, but I'm even ready for that just because it's been way
Yeah.
over 75 degrees recently. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really
Oh,
excited to talk to you about a lot of things, starting off with your single, Thinking About It. I thought it was super powerful because, I'm around your age. I think that we all go through things that we know are bad for us, yet we keep wanting to think they're good, or even vice versa.
exactly.
And your
Yeah.
song really touches on that. Like, you want to hold on to these memories because it's almost like all you have left in a way of that person. So, was it hard to be that vulnerable, or do you actually find that writing about things rather than just like venting about it, so to speak, actually helps you
Yeah.
out? I don't know if that made sense.
No, no, it made sense. I got you. So I feel like with a lot of my songs, it's kind of therapeutic for me,
Hmm.
just because songwriting is such like a creative outlet. So I feel like it was definitely hard to be vulnerable, but at the same time, I feel like it helped like pick up a weight off my chest.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. And it is hard sometimes, like you mentioned, to just, write about something in a journal, or, just text about it. But there's something about turning it into music and sharing it with people that is so powerful. So bravo to
Exactly. Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. And whenever I interview artists who are on the younger side and whose music really resonates with me and other people my age, I always like to ask them, if you were, let's say, a fan of yours. This is kind of a trippy thing to think about, but if you were a fan of yours, what song do you think would help you the most out that you've written, or what lyric?
I feel like probably What's Meant to Stay, which is on my EP. So that song is kind of just talking about wanting something permanent, like feeling kind of out of place and just feeling like not super good about yourself. And I feel like growing up and when I was in middle school and even starting high school, I kind of struggled with friends and I struggled with finding like a permanent group of friends. And I just struggled fitting in a lot. So I feel like that song would have helped me a lot.
Definitely. I went through the same thing. I think that a lot of people, middle school and high school,
Yeah.
they tend to form cliques, and I hate that. Like, that
Me
should
too.
not be a thing. And
Yeah.
then on top of that, even being in the industry, like, it's like middle school all over again
Yeah,
sometimes. It's like
literally.
there's cliques within in different groups. So I totally get you. And I think that that resonated with a lot of your fans as well.
Yeah.
I have to ask, have you received any like super sweet message from a fan or a listener about Thinking About It, that you were like, wow, this is why I do what I do?
So it wasn't like a DM or anything, although I've gotten like super sweet messages. But one of my fan accounts, she DM'd like every single radio station, like in a bunch of different states, and
Oh.
even where she lives, which is another country. But she DM'd like a bunch of radio stations, like telling them to play my song. So that was super sweet to see, and just very like dedicated.
That is so cute. It's like a built-in publicist for you.
Literally.
That's so funny. Have
Yeah.
you been able to meet her or not yet?
I haven't. She's from Dubai, so
Oh, wow.
very far, but
Yes, very far. Well, hopefully when the pandemic ends, you'll be able to tour Dubai and a bunch of other places. Where would you
I
say
know
is
that
your
would be so much fun.
yeah, where would you say is your dream place to tour?
I feel like definitely Europe. So
Hmm.
I love the UK and I just love Europe in general. So I feel like it would be super fun to like not only be there to like sing and do what I love, but just be there to be there, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
Yeah, make a
Yeah,
vacation out of it. Like, you're there doing
literally.
what you love, but also you're gonna go to all the touristy spots and take
Exactly.
pictures and do
Yeah.
all that. So That sounds awesome. I'm like, now I'm craving Europe, and there's obviously no way either of us can go right now.
Exactly. It's so awful.
Yes. But another thing just with quarantine and the pandemic, I feel like just talking to other artists that it's been kind of challenging to find a balance between having so much free time, so to speak, and it's like I need to be productive 24/7. There's no excuses, so to speak, with also not wanting to experience any creative burnout. So have you experienced that? And if so, how did you kind of make your way through it?
So at first, I was excited just because I didn't have to go into campus for school anymore, like when the pandemic started and everything.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just had so much time, I felt like, and I didn't know what to do with it. And like you said, like I just wanted to be productive, but at the same time, it was kind of hard. But I feel like in the end, it kind of worked out because I have focused all of my energy and time into writing more music and just continuing to put out music and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's important to when you do have free time, you want to make sure you're using it wisely, but not so wisely, so to speak, that it's no longer fun. And I
Exactly.
can tell
Yeah.
that you like truly do have a passion for music, and you're involved in like every step of the process, from co-writing or writing on your own to producing, recording, obviously. But I'm wondering, out of like all the steps, I guess, of the up to releasing single, which
Yeah.
step, so to speak, is most challenging for you?
I think the most challenging is once you've written it and because I oftentimes I'm like a perfectionist. I have OCD,
Mhm.
so I want to make sure everything's perfect before I get it out there. So I feel like once I've recorded vocals and once we've gotten like the basis of the song down, it's really challenging for me to perfect it, and then I have to go back and like re-record stuff. And then I start like pressuring myself and kind of overthinking, like, should I change this? Like, should I change these lyrics? Like, is this the best that my vocals can sound in this part? So probably midway through the process, like once I've gotten the vocals done and once the basis of the song is done, that's when I struggle the most.
Yes, and it's really hard, I'm sure, as an artist to not overthink things because you do want it to be perfect, but sometimes thinking about it too much, you start to doubt yourself. So I'm sure
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
like really, really challenging. But it seems like, you're getting the hang of it. And obviously your
Yeah.
songs that I've heard, they're all perfect. So whatever you did,
Yeah.
you made the right choice.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. And do you have anything coming up in the works, either singles, EPs, and if so, when can we kind of expect those to be released?
So I actually have a song that I am still working on. It's almost done. That I'm like super excited about and that I just want to like put out there already. But I feel like I might wait and then do a couple more songs and then just make it an EP because I did just release another single. But if not, it should be coming out probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully.
Oh wow,
So
that's really soon.
yeah.
Normally when I'm talking to artists about music, it's like early next year or 6 months. So this would be super, super
No,
soon.
I'm so impatient. Like I don't have a plan. Whenever I'm putting stuff out, like I don't really like think about it that much. Like I kind of just like I just want people to listen to it. I just want to put it out there because I'm excited.
Mhm.
But yeah.
No, it's super important to kind of get a feel for when something should be released, but also not be like, okay, on this day, no other artist is releasing music, so I can do it all on my own. And it's like, no, you kind of start to
Yeah.
overanalyze things, I've noticed. So it's definitely something I feel that seeps into every aspect of the industry. So it's really impressive too that like you're so young and you kind of realize that. I just had to say that.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a
Thank you.
question. I just had to applaud you on that. And I have to ask, these are like some fun, like hypothetical questions I always like to ask artists. You've obviously collaborated with awesome people such as Zach and a bunch of other people. Who else would you like to collaborate with? One on the like co-writing side, and then one on actually like having them featured on a track.
So I have always loved Lana Del Rey. So she's probably like the ultimate. Like if I did a song with her, I would be completely content the rest of my life and never like need to do music ever again. So her definitely. And then someone else that I have been looking up to recently. I don't know if you know Charlotte Lawrence.
I do, but I can't remember which song of hers it is that I love. but I know the name, and I know I love her, and for some reason I'm blanking on the song that I love. But yes, I do know who she is.
Yeah. But I just love her style of music and the way that she writes. I wish I were as talented as that. So she
Oh,
would definitely be someone that I would want to write with.
that's awesome. You know, it's so funny. When I was listening to your music, I was like thinking, I want Kay to collaborate with Lana Del Rey. So you're not the only one who like sees it as a possibility. No, I'm serious. So, you know, maybe we're on the same wavelength. Lana
Yeah,
Del Rey, if you're watching this, I'll make all the tags in this video having to do with her.
just Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, that'd be so
Yeah.
funny. Not even title it Kay Cook interview. No, I'm totally kidding. Um, and obviously, you know, we've talked a little bit about some challenges that you have faced just as being a young artist, but I'm wondering more specifically, I feel like sometimes the music industry is, you know, more male dominant, especially when it
Yeah.
comes to younger artists. So I'm wondering if you've experienced that, and if so, maybe what is something you wish you had known before you kind of dedicated your career to this path, if that makes sense.
So, I mean, I'm not even signed or anything to like a label. Like I kind of just do stuff on my own. So I haven't really like firsthand been like, I've struggled with that. Um, but yeah, I don't think I've really, I mean, obviously like I know and I have like seen stuff, but I personally just haven't really struggled with that.
You're very lucky.
Yeah.
But going off of that, is there anything you would tell other girls your age who are maybe you know, hoping to break out into the music industry? Any like big one piece of advice?
Yeah, so I would just say do things on your terms and definitely be careful when you're given opportunities, just because there are some people out there who will take advantage of you and use you. So I would just say definitely make sure that you are doing things on your own terms and that you are not doing anything that you're uncomfortable with and just doing things how you want to do them.
That is so important. Thank you for sharing that. I think that goes for, I mean, not even just the industry, like any walk of life. Like,
Yeah,
you have to, you know, go with your gut. And so
exactly.
often we ignore our gut feeling or our instincts. So thank you for bringing it home for us. That was beautiful. That was awesome.
Thank
And I just have a couple more questions. I like to ask like fun, like get to know you type questions.
you.
So I know I said 10 minutes. Are you okay on time
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
okay, cool. I always like to make sure, but I have so much fun doing these sit down interviews that sometimes I lose track of time and I'm like, wait, I forgot to ask a couple things. Okay, cool. So first one is celebrity crush.
Okay, so definitely young Leonardo DiCaprio or Harry Styles. All
Oh
the
my gosh, yes, both of them. So
yeah.
yes, both days, right?
Yes, definitely.
And what is a show either on Netflix, on Disney Channel, really any show that you wish had gotten more seasons? So basically that you thought was super underrated.
So I watched Atypical. I don't know if you've heard of it or seen it, but I heard that they aren't coming out with another season. I don't know if that's true or not. But I've watched all the seasons they have, but I'm super sad if they are not going to come out with another season.
I did not know that. I would think for sure it'd get renewed.
I know. I feel like they might put out another one, but I feel like if they're putting it out, like that's the last one. So
Darn. I'll
yeah,
have to do some more investigating. I know one of my favorite Netflix shows, I Am Not Okay With This. It did get renewed.
that was really good too. I heard that
Then
that was canceled. That and The Society.
yes, yeah. So they were both renewed, and then COVID was like, nope, never mind, JK.
Yeah.
So I know, which it sucks for I'm Not Okay With This because there was a cliffhanger. I'm sure you remember. So
Yeah, she like
what's
walked
gonna
away all bloody.
yeah, and what's gonna happen to that boyfriend of her friend? So I guess we'll never know. I guess we can all do our own little fan theories on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And just a couple more things. So if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It would definitely be do you know tender greens?
Um, I love tender greens.
So it would definitely be their plate, and I would get the salted chicken, the mashed potatoes, and then the kale, and I would be completely fine.
What is it about their mashed potatoes? Why are they so good,
They're
right?
so good, like better than when you make them at home, and I don't even understand like how.
I wonder, I feel like they put a lot of extra butter or something because I don't
That's
know
what I was
how
gonna
else. Like,
say. Butter and garlic, definitely, which
that's
is
what it's gotta be because butter and garlic are like the secrets to everything in life. And dark
exactly.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love tender greens and now I really want it, but I'm not currently near one. So are you near one?
I think the closest one to me is like 30 minutes away. So
Well, take a road trip there or something, or
exactly.
Postmates. Maybe they'll reach you by Postmates. I don't know.
Hopefully. I've never tried that, but it's a good idea.
You should. The delivery fee might be insane though. So,
Yeah, I know. Usually I only use Postmates for like Starbucks and Dunkin', and that's probably it.
yes. Okay, well, you know what? That's so funny. That's a great like final question. This whole debate versus on Starbucks versus Dunkin' Donuts coffee, which do you choose?
So I feel like most people prefer Dunkin', but I would have to say Starbucks just because I feel like it's so much more convenient for me because I don't have a Dunkin' super close to me. Like
Mhm.
Starbucks is the closest. So just out of convenience, I would have to say Starbucks.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like if Dunkin' Donuts had as many locations in California as Starbucks, then maybe I would also like it better.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dunkin' Donuts is 20 minutes for me. I can walk to Starbucks in 5. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, convenience wise, it has to be Starbucks. So
Yeah.
totally with you on that too. Awesome. Well, Kate, thank you so much for the interview. Sorry I was kind of all over the place.
No, you're fine. I honestly I prefer interviews like that anyways, like the cool questions rather
Oh,
than
good.
like
I
the
do too. And I want it to feel like a conversation and ask questions that I think either you haven't answered before or maybe you have, but it was a while ago. So kind of answers that aren't like super timely, if that makes sense. Like
yeah.
you can look back at them and be like, oh wow, I still think that, or oh, my answers changed. So
Yeah.
super fun. And when it's safe, I'd love to do something in person in LA.
We definitely should.
Follow-up interview would be fun. But for now, do you just want to give your Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, just what song, how people can find your songs on Spotify, Apple Music, all that?
So I actually don't have Twitter, but my
Oh, okay.
Instagram is just K Cook with two K's at the end. And then my YouTube I think is just K Cook.
Yeah, I think if we just search your name, it should come up pretty
Yeah.
easy. So perfect. Well, Kay, thank you so much for this interview, and everyone make sure to go check out Kay's music on all platforms, and then I'll also have all the links in the description box as well. So
All right. Thank you so much.
thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Hope you get to tender greens.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. One day. All
All right.
right.
Bye.
Bye.